All right, here we are. We are live, folks. Well, welcome back to Hometown TCG, ladies and gentlemen. My name is John, and we are drinking some coffee and chatting about some of these Pro Quest decks. So this is going to be a format where just mornings we can kind of get together. If people are around, they can tune in. If not, they can watch this later in the day. So if you are watching back later in the day, I'm going to give a quick minute here for some people to tune in, and then we'll get started. I'm going to pull up these decks, make sure we're good here. Awesome. Hello to everyone tuning in. It looks like we got a couple people here. I'm going to give just a minute before we go, and then we'll get into it. Pull it up here as well. Okay. Hey, Andrew. Good morning. How you doing this morning? Are you watching from work? Josh is tuning in too. Dude, check out these. These were a gift from my brother, and I love them. And he gave me two of them, one for me and one for Josh. And I gotta find that one for Josh. It disappeared. Oh, Josh is at the gym this morning. All right, cool. So we got some people tuning in here. Thanks, guys, for getting a shout out. Good morning. So I figured this will be a fun format here. All right. So, was anyone here in the chat at the Proquest besides Josh? Because I heard it was pretty sweet. I heard actually more people there than at Dallas, which is pretty awesome. I know there were 301 tables set up, so that'd be 602 people. But when you have some kind of dropouts or no-shows, that's a little lower. So maybe like 550, which is pretty awesome. We're doing back-to-back weekends and still getting over 500 in each one. I love to see that. I think it's great for the health of the game. So moving forward into Nationals is going to be cool, especially since now we're seeing some different decks, which why don't we just get into? All right. Let's see here. All right. So clicked on just that top one. All right. So looking at some of these decks here, we got, I think it's 5 different heroes. Prism, Katsu, Lexi, Briar, Chain. We got 5 different heroes in the top 8, which was pretty sick. Yeah, let's just look into this winning one first. We got Bravo right here. And Bravo has just been good all around, I mean, since he's come out. And I'm just going to be interested to see what he's doing with it. So, he has got his Hammer, Skullcap, Crater Fist, Mage Master, Null Rune. Okay, so immediately Mage Master boots. It looks like he's going for the Tome of Fyendal combo. Probably going to be similar to Kale McCree's list because the one he put out was doing that. He's got 2 Null Rune in here. So he can, I guess, against Wizard, and maybe he's doing that against Briar also. All right. Reds, only 2 Command and Conquer. Now that's a bold move. Only 2. So obviously he didn't want to push his Reds too high. Crippling Crush, Fate Foreseen. He's got the defense reactions. Honestly, I think this is really similar to Kale McCree's list. He probably took that and tweaked a couple things. I think he's got only 2 Command and Conquer, so maybe he felt like he needed more blues. May have switched that out for the extra Null Rune. If I'm remembering right, pretty standard blue set here. Lots of attacks in the blue set, so he's able to rouse the Ancients pretty well. He's just got the defense reactions in Showtime, Tear Asunder. And yellow, disable lead the charge, remembrance, righteous cleansing, Tome of Fyendal. Okay, so this deck, I did build it and I only got to play it once, so I didn't truly get to see, you know, what it can do. I didn't get off the tome combo. I mean, obviously Bravo is kind of similar. You block and do your hammer and do everything, and it's just so efficient. And with the lead the charge, I guess lead the charge is really his way of dealing with Prism. That combined with the zealous belting and stuff. I played a Prism guy, or I played a Bravo guy that was using Enlightened Strike as well, just as another way against Prism, which was pretty cool. So obviously he was able to do well there. He went 9-0 with this. So shout out to Stuart McGirt. Congratulations. He's got that gold foil skull cap, which would look pretty nice in this deck. Let's look at the chat here. Yeah, so Luke made it out and Kyle did too. Awesome. Yeah. He lost to Brendan, huh? That's awesome. Oh, dude. That's Luke. Okay. Why don't we just look at his? All right, so he was running Katsu. Great to hear about that. I love Katsu, man. I know we were talking about running Katsu there, and I'm going to see how similar his deck is to the one we put out. So, Breaking Scales, Harmonized Kodachi, Heart and Cross Trap, Mask and Momentum, Snapdragon Scaler. So interesting, he's not using Tunic at all. I know a lot of people use both Heart and Cross Trap and Tunic. I'm a fan of Tunic. I do like the one block on it, but I also didn't get top 8 at the Pro Quest. All right. Let's see. The Reds, Ancestral Empowerment, 3 Command and Conquers, 3 Crane Dance. That's interesting. 3 E-Strikes, 2 Exude Confidence. I like that. I've been talking about that. 2 Flick Flacks only. Like that, Plunder Run, Razor, Rising Knee, only 2 Scar for Scars. Sinks, Snatch, Soul Bead. Okay, what's interesting to me is he has 3 Sinks and only 2 Flick Flacks. So I guess he wasn't really that scared against go wide decks. Or he was like, I'm only going to block with 1 card a turn, period. Maybe the Sinks were there to switch out his deck, and, you know, he was trying to block, either go tall or block against Oldham's Hammer with it. And he's like, Flick Flack's not going to do anything for me there. I want that effect of being able to cycle to the bottom. So it seems like that's what he was doing to me here with this deck. And he was probably not running any of them except in those matchups. So he's trying to streamline 60 here, 2 Snatch. So he is also running, the other interesting thing is the Soul Bead Crane Dance line. So I don't know if he was running that in every matchup. It seems like maybe that would be a sideboard thing against other go wide decks. It could be against Prism. It could be against Viscerai Chain. So Soul Bead into that whole line with Fine Center is pretty insane against them. Prevents 1 against every single source. Really good against Rune Chance. So obviously against Viscerai that would be there. But I'm just predicting that was sideboard here. And then Blues, he's got 2, 5, 8, 10. Oh, wow. Only 15, and 2 of them are snags, which he's probably siding out. So he's pretty low on the Blues. I was down to 15 in mine. It looks like he's going even lower. The Flick Flacks he may mainboard because of that, but he's got a ton of low cost attacks. So, you know, you can't afford that with this guy. And he's probably going Heart and Cross Trap for the 1 turn where he really needs it. Yellows is really small. 1 Art of War, 3 Hurricane Technique, interesting. 2 Magenchis, 3 Surging Strike. So the Hurricane Technique being at a 3 of. I guess he probably doesn't care if he blocks with it early, so he's got some more. I know sometimes if you're only playing 1 of or something and you get it early, you're like, crap, I need to do something with this. Like, what am I going to do here? So interesting here. All right, cool. We got Luke's from 8th. We'll look at the other 8th. We'll look at Prism. So we'll see if this is a copy of our Prism from Dallas or not. Instantly looking at it, it's not, because he's only got 12 reds here. So when we're looking at this basic equipment setup, without the reds, I guess he's going more aura focused. Only the sync belows here, so no fates or anything. He's probably got yellow sync as well. Okay, cool. So obviously he's going auras here. Blues, he's super light on blues too. No Herald of what is it? Herald of Ravages is what he doesn't have in here. Okay, so super heavy on the yellows. He's not going to miss a yellow on his turn. That is a problem with Prism. Sometimes you just don't have the yellow to pitch, to take out of your soul and start swinging go again on your auras. So he has yellow Prismatic Shield. Didn't mean to click on that, but I did. Yeah, lean pitch so far in top 8. All right, 2 Art of Wars. What's he doing with the Art of War? That's interesting. Obviously, he's banishing to draw 2, so maybe he's just using it to kind of cycle out his deck a little bit. It could be on the Tome of Divinity turns that if he's got one of those also, he can further dig in his deck for more tomes and stuff like that. It's an interesting card to include because if he's attacking with his yellows here, he really doesn't even want to do that a ton. Just interesting. Yeah. Okay. Celestial Cataclysm. 3 Genesis, 1 Glisten, the rest of his heralds and the rest of the auras and stuff like that. Okay. Cool. So a lot of your normal yellow cards here, except for the Art of War. I would love to hear from him what he was doing. Jason Watkins, how did you feel about the Art of War? Was it cycling out? Was it trying for big tome turns? Stuff like that? Crazy. Okay, cool. So that's Jason Watkins' top 8 list. Let's keep scrolling down here fast. So Stephen Pierce with the Lexi. And this is going to be... He's got Death Dealer. Okay, so we got a Death Dealer deck. These things are just nasty, dude. Nasty. It's probably going to be low on pitch, too. It's decent on pitch. Okay, so Lightning Lexi here. Going to be some fun stuff. Ball Lightning is so good in this deck. Bolton Shot, Buzz, Bolt, Command and Conquer, Dazzling Crescendo, E-Strike, Lightning Press. Pathing Helix is pretty cool. Pathing Helix is good in this one because you need a way to reload outside of your snapshot turns. So really cool to see this card in here. Just probably will get you an extra attack on here. You still have to get go again. So is he having stuff like... Bolton Shot can. Maybe he has more Bolton Shots than just red. Maybe he's got some Dazzling Crescendos right here to give go again. Cool. Sinks. Okay, so Snapshot. 3 Art of Wars is great in this too because it's another way to give go again. And +1 on all your snapshots on a huge turn is insane. More Ball Lightnings obviously is so good. More go again from the Channel Thunderstep. So clearly he has a bunch of ways to give go again on his non-snapshot turns to where he could arsenal one if he needs to. Or does he have attacks outside of these? He's got Command and Conquer. He's got Ball Lightning has it anyway. He's got E-Strike. Okay. So E-Strike and Command and Conquer, great ones to give go again off of some of these attacks, especially on the draw. Obviously, all the snapshots is a 9 of. And Amulet of Lightning. Yeah, he's got so much to give go again here. That's... yeah, okay. This deck is just, man, if it draws into it, it's insane. So I'm glad to see that we saw one of these come up. Pretty cool. Okay. Moving on to... is this deck the new Sabres Bolton semi-combo deck? I guess so. It can go off more, I think, than Sabres combo on its off turns, though. And because it's got 9 of too, like it can draw into it quicker, and it's got some other attacks in there that are pretty decent. So that's pretty cool. Don't know how that Lexi deck wins. It's just because on your big turns, man, you can attack so many times. You go, imagine doing an Art of War into Snapshot, which then draws you a card into Snapshot, and you just keep drawing. You drew 2 off of Art of War. Snapshot with Death Dealer lets you draw a card. And then you just do it again. And you end up drawing like 5 cards on that turn. You have E-Strike as well that maybe you got with your Art of War to give go again. So you draw a card there. And you just chain like 3-4 of these snapshots in a row that are all doing +1 damage. And it's just crazy. This deck is really fun. Yeah, it is kind of like a Bolton Sabres combo sort of thing. It feels like that. It's that almost gimmicky kind of thing, but it's consistent enough to still win. Pretty crazy. Doesn't block well, though, because it's got Art of War, it's got Ball Lightnings, Lightning Press. It's got a lot of 0 blocks here. Not really great there. So, yeah, maybe I'll explain this combo more, just to make sure everyone understands. So, what you have here is your Snapshot. So, if Snapshot was fused, you may activate abilities of your bows you control an additional time this turn as though they were an instant. Okay? So, and let's look at the Death Dealer. Once per turn action, if you have no cards in your arsenal, you may put an arrow from your hand face up into your arsenal. If you do, draw a card and go again. So, what you do is you use this once, you pay 1. So, let's say you pitch a blue. He's got a lot of blues in his deck. So, you pitch a blue, you have 2 floating, and you put Snapshot into your arsenal. You play Snapshot and fuse it with a lightning card. Okay, you still have 2 pitch floating. You have your 4 damage attack that resolves. Then it lets you use your bow again as an instant. So as an instant, you can play it even though you don't have an action point any longer. So you play it, and then since the bow itself has go again, it gives you another action point. And when you use it again, you have a pitch floating, so you take 1 of yours, you still have 1 floating, put a card down, you draw another card. So you try to chain into a couple of these snapshots, and you draw like 5-6 cards on your turn, and you do it when you already have like 2 in your hand, and you get off like 4 attacks there, plus another arrow. If you have the Art of War, you're getting more go again. You're able to play E-Strikes on those turns. You're able to play Command and Conquers that have go again, because there's like 5 ways to give go again in your deck. It's just pretty incredible the burst that this deck can do just out of nowhere. And if you do that off of a Ball Lightning, it's like a 30 damage turn. There was once I played someone with this, and he came in with a, what's it called? Does he not have it in the deck? Light It Up. He came in with a Light It Up, and it had Ball Lightnings on it, and it had Electrify on it. Yeah, so I think it was 4 damage attack, hit, deal 13. like just insane. And this was at the end of after he did a couple snapshots. So that's how this combo works. Pretty crazy here. He is playing the Shock Charmers too, which is kind of cool because he's got so many blues in here, and this deck doesn't need so many blues either. So that'll be interesting to see. Especially when he draws those cards up. If he drew like 4 extra cards on his turn, and he's got the extra pitch, he can pump this a couple times on his last attack. Crazy. That with a Frazzle combined. Pretty cool. All right, so this deck is fun. Shout out Stephen Pierce for making top 8 with that Lexi deck. Let's move on. We saw the winner, but we didn't see any of the other top 4. Let's look at the 2 Briars here. So Chris Higashi. Briar deck. This one is going to be a lightning deck. Cool, cool, cool. All right. Looking at it here. We got a pretty basic setup. This is what he's running into everything. He says, you know what? I don't care about Arcane Barrier. This is what I do. Cool. Snapdragons are good with Lightning Lexi. I think that's the way to go with Lightning Lexi because you have a lot of 0 cost stuff. Okay. Arcanic Crackle. a 0 cost. Arcanic Shockwave is, or no, Shockwave is a 0 cost. Wait, which one's Crack? Yeah, Crackwave is 0 cost. Okay, so this dude has got so many. Ball Lightning, Command and Conquer cost. E-Strike doesn't cost. Lightning Surge doesn't cost. Ravenous Rabble, here we go. Doesn't cost. Scar for Scar doesn't cost. Snatch doesn't cost. Like, none of these cost anything. This dude doesn't have to pitch to attack. He just has to pitch to do his Rosetta. So he's got 9 blues. This is sick. I love this. This is like a streamlined old Azalea deck. Okay. So clearly he's looking to do more than one attack action on a turn, which can do insane things for your embodiments of Earth if you have to block. This deck, I feel like it's such a challenge against Katsu to play with Katsu against this deck, because it can race just like you can, and when it has to block one of your things, it can just go, okay, I'll block with 1 non-attack action, and it blocks for 5, and you're like, shoot, I was doing 5 with that attack, and now I'm gonna have to attack reaction just to, like, it can block with 2 cards and block any attack reaction you do. It's just pretty crazy when it needs to block. So let's see here. Man, these are cool. This is so many of these 0 cost 4 damage attacks that it can chain together. Sweet. It's got the Snapdragon Scalers too. You can do the E-Strike draws or 7s. Captain's Call. Now this is one that is interesting in here. It's cool because it's a blue that can give +2. He's got so many 0 cost in here. So he can do this with E-Strike. He can do this with any of his random 0s for more damage. He can go pitching it is really nice. Plunder Run is good as a blue as well. Does he have, oh my gosh, he's got 9 Plunder Runs? Yeah, he does. Sick. This is crazy. I love this. This is Chris. Yeah, this is Chris's deck. Did you play against him? Oh, you did. Yeah, dude. This thing looks crazy. Crazy. I started building a Briar Lightning deck over the weekend and played. Actually, I played against it. I had my brother playing as it, and it was wrecking me. It had a lot of similar things to this, but not as, like, it wasn't playing Ravenous Rabble, it wasn't playing Arcanic Crackle, and it wasn't playing 9 Plunder Runs. Like, this is crazy, dude. Yeah, he takes the 0 cost to the next level. And only 3 blues, dude. And then the Time Snap potions. So is he running these against Prism or against everyone here? Is he running this? I'm just thinking. It could be against Prism. He has so much go again that I don't even know if he needs it against other people, against other control decks. Oh, you were on Prism, dude. This thing goes so wide. Prism has got to be rough. Dude. Yeah, guys. Okay. So, clearly we had this. Yeah, dude. Freaking 9 blues. Yeah, he's just embracing this 0 cost. The only thing he pitches for is, like, he only needs yellows, because if he pitches, it's just for Electrify and his Rosetta Thorn. It's just cool. Looking at his yellows themselves, so these are the ones that obviously he likes more. Arcanic Shockwave. This is pretty good. It's going to be 3 and 1. Yeah, some mixed beats for 0 cost at a yellow is nice to see. Ball Lightning, obviously. Lightning Press. 9th Blade, obviously, for Prism. Plunder Run and Weave Light. Okay, so he thinks Ball Lightning and Arcanic Shockwave are his best attacks. And I would probably have to agree with that. Oh, and then even with Command and Conquer, he only needs to pitch a yellow. Dude, this is great. This is sick. Let's see what the chat's saying. Okay, he killed me with double Plunder Run, Arcanic Shockwave, Ball Lightning ×2, then Rosetta Thorn with Nimblism in there as well. Oh, that's nasty. Probably loses to ice control decks. Yeah, if they're flipping over that automatic stuff, you are not going to be able to pay for this, especially when you're so go wide and things like that. Definitely not. He could pitch the yellow though and do some red attacks into his Rosetta Thorn, but under Channel Lake Frigid, he wouldn't do anything. The only thing is that, yeah, he blocks decently. Yeah. Can take away his go again and make him discard a card and make his stuff cost more resources. Yeah, he's not going to be able to pay for Blizzard either. Dude. Yeah, this deck is fun. I'm glad to see it. Dude, we're seeing some variety here. I just love this meta right now. So, yeah, this deck's cool. All right, let's see Brennan Patrick's Briar here. Okay. So he is, okay, immediately look at this equipment here. He is set up for anyone. Okay. Skullcap and Crown of Dichotomy. Any other headpieces? No. Okay. So cool. He can run that for the Arcane. He's got Bloodsheath Skeleton. Nice. Okay. What's cool about Bloodsheath Skeleton is you can pay 2 if you wanted to break it. This is stupid. If you wanted to break it instead of using the last armor, you can pay 2 and then basically get those 2 back. Because your next attack and non-attack are free. I don't know if you would, but you can do that. And he's got Tunic and Null Rune Robe. Okay, so he's embracing the Null Rune here. Okay. It looks like he's ready to play against Wizard if he needs to. Okay, and then for arms, he's got Grasp of the Arknight and Null Rune Gloves. Anything else there? No. And then for Fate, he's got his Spellbound Creepers. Does he have anything else? Did I miss something? No. Okay, so he's running Spellbound Creepers in all of them, and Rosetta Thorn and Reaping Blade. So the Reaping Blade, is this against Bravo? I guess it's just against Bravo only here. Pretty cool. It's still a 1 cost for 3. And so he's like, all right, he's going to be pitching, or maybe against Oldhim too. Because he's going to be pitching for the Arcane anyway. Come in with the 3 attack, make sure they can't sigil or get you with any of the, I can't think of the card, the non-attack that gains you. Okay, so he's in Earthbriar. Yes, yes. All right. I like this because we got a couple different ones coming in here. All right. 2 completely different decks making the top 4. I bet he's got a ton of blues. He does. Sweet. Okay. Autumn's Touch just as a red attack. Blocks 3. Okay, so he's got the block 3 just in the red. Interesting. I guess this is when he blocks out, he just does this attack. Because it doesn't work with the whole non-attack, attack into your weapon. Because of the 3 cost. This is just simply, it blocks, it's earth, and he can do it on blockout turns. Oh, you know what's kind of cool, a play that you can do with this deck? You just, obviously you stack up the embodiment of earths, and then you can block with a couple, and then play the Autumn's Touch. And since it's still a 7 coming in, you're probably going to be able to create more embodiments of earth even on your off turn. So I think that's why it's in here. Pretty cool. I like that for that reason. This allows you to play a little more mid-range with her without losing tempo. Good inclusion. I like that. Bramble Spark is pretty great. Burgeoning. I bet this is the same exact thing. It's an earth card. And you can do that. Plus, it's more versatile because you can get the Rosetta Thorn right afterwards. Pretty awesome here. Okay. Channel Mount Heroic can be insane. You need enough Earth cards, which obviously it's looking like he's going to have a bunch. For having this out for a couple turns, it's just crazy. It's hard to do, but dude, Command and Conquer. Imagine 9 damage Command and Conquer's coming at you with Go Again without even having to play anything. It's just all right. E-Strikes, Fate Foreseen, 1 of Fate Foreseen. So clearly he just wanted an extra Plunder Run. Ravenous he's running the Ravenous Rabble too. Sweet. Okay. He has some more blues, but the Ravenous Rabble, I like that card. And it's been kind of hidden. Not many people have played it till recently. Scar for a Scar also. Okay, so he's able to go a little wider here. He's got the E-Strikes, the Ravenous, and the Scar. He's able to do a couple double attack turns, especially with some of these 2-cost cards. Sink Below, I think, is really good for this deck. allowing you to cycle out when you don't have something. Snatch also for some more zero cost. Yeah, Snatch is so good in her because you can give it the go again here. Sonata, he's running the Sonata. Here we go. Okay, so this is something that Josh and I were talking about, and we included it in this latest one we were just working on. At first, I was pretty against this card. I'm like, I don't know here. But then it's really good because it allows you to cycle through your deck more, and the non-attacks are just so important for Briar to be able to play. So, yeah, at worst, the worst it can be is that it gives you something go again, which isn't even that bad on the floor of a card. When the ceiling allowing you to get the arcane damage and draw into a card is crazy. Stir the Wildwood, another one that's one of these 2 costs that can let you go into that classic turn. Vigor Rush, no way. Dude, okay, this is great. How didn't I see this until now? All right, so guys, this is an Arcane Rising card that everyone really only used it for sealed ever. But dude, another 4 go against 0 cost here. You're always going to play a non-attack action. This is cool because his line, he's going non-attack, Vigor Rush to get go again, non-attack, another attack. So imagine a Snatch here that has go again because he played 2 non-attacks into Rosetta Thorn. That's pretty good. Vigor frickin' Rush. Love this. Oh man, this allows you to have some plays. So he can really go wide here on these turns. Oh, it costs 1. It costs 1, which is fine because you're pitching for Rosetta Thorn on those turns anyway. Cool. I was thinking it costs 0. That's fine. It works the exact same. Sick, dude. I love this. Okay. Sweet. Looking at these yellows, he's got 2 Bramble Sparks, 3 Ninth Blades, 1 Pulse. I'd say pretty standard here. Yeah. Blues, Autumn's Touch, more Earths, Earthlore Surge, Force of Nature, Sow Tomorrow. Okay. Tome of Harvest. Okay, pretty cool. Let's count his Earths here. 3, 4, 5, 8. That's not 11, 14. Okay. 15, 18, 21, 24. Any more? Okay, 24 is not bad. You want to be over 20. So definitely got that there. He can consistently pitch for that Channel Mount Heroic. Just pretty cool. Cool, man. Andy confused with the Stir the Wildwoods and Bramble Sparks pretty easy. This is that I just would love to see people's face when they pull off the Vigor Rush. Oh, you know what card I didn't see in the other one was... Dude, what's that yellow card that it does 2 arcane and makes your other ones do arcane? I'm actually surprised we didn't see that unless I just miss it in Chris's deck. Okay, he doesn't have that. Okay, I wonder if he tested it and just felt like it wasn't good enough. But with this amount of go wide, dude, what's that card called? Wisp, Flicker Wisp, Flicker Wisp. Okay, this card. So he's, I mean, coming in for 2 arcane damage on a non-attack action, and then it gives you, okay, makes all your other ones that deal arcane deal +1. Okay, so he doesn't have a ton of arcane. He's got arcane extra. So if he leaned into it more with Sting of Sorcery and stuff like that, he could have some insane stuff coming through. But he's not leaning into that as much. He's going super go wide with normal attacks. His only one is really Arcanic Shockwave. Okay. Cool. On to our second place deck, Alex Keeler on chain. Here we go. This is what people have been waiting for. Dude, they want to see this chain. They want to see him in action. It feels like everyone hated chain, and now they're like, well, I want to know. Like, maybe I miss him a little bit. So, looking at these, Aether Ironweave, here we go, and Carrion Husk, classic there. Crown of Dichotomy, Evan Fold. So, okay, this is interesting, though. He's got Skullcap. Oh, I guess it's not that. That seemed pretty standard if people were running Null Rune. And I think Null Rune's more important now with Briar around. Crest of the Arknight, Null Rune Robe. Okay, so he's got a couple Null Rune in here that he's ready to play with. Still running the Snapdragons, and the Rosetta Thorn is just so good for this dude. So let's see what he's doing here, starting with the reds. Rifting and let's see. Okay, I'll come back to that after. Okay, Bounding Demigon, Command and Conquer, E-Strike. He's running the Phlox here. Okay, so I think you're probably going to need to really go wide enough against these control decks without your huge Riftbind turns. Hell from Beyond, Lunar Tide Plunderer. I wonder if he's, obviously this is good against Prism as a 7 attack. I wonder if he's main decking this too, just to have more cards in his deck against control decks. Plunder Run, Riftbind. I wonder how powerful these are getting. They're probably only getting to like 4s, which still a 1 cost for 4 from your Banish Zone that you don't have to play. It's pretty strong. Shadow Puppetry, Soul Reaping, Tremor of Irathiel, and Unhallowed Rites. Okay, so looks like a lot of the same reds that would be run in the classic chain deck. Lunar Tide Plunderer just as some more 6s is cool, but nothing out of the ordinary. We saw the Tremors start to arise kind of late. Late in that meta. It's great card, 1 for 6. So including those in there for sure. Look in his yellows, got Art of War, 1 Bounding Demigon, and Vexing Malice. Vexing Malice yellow. Here we go. Okay, pushing through some arcane damage this way for sure. I like it. I like it. Blues. How many blues does he have? 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 26. Okay. That's a good amount of blues. The energy, we'll come. All right. Energy Potion here. Invert Existence. Mauvern Skies. Plunder Run blue. Nice. Shadow of Urser. Sting of Sorcery. Here we go, people. This is what I'm talking about. Attack actions you control. Gain when you attack with this. Deal 1 arcane damage to target hero. Okay, so you want to string this together when you got like 3 attacks on your turn. An extra 3 arcane for a blue. Pretty nice. And it's a non-attack, which can trigger your Rosetta Thorn. So Sting of Sorcery can replace your seeds. You got extra ones like Plunder Run here. He's really relying on this Plunder Run, which is pretty cool. He's got 3 Time Snaps and 2 Energy Potions. Okay, so this, you're definitely going to need these 3 if you're playing against some super defensive Prism deck. You don't have your whole seeds kind of thing to go off on when they arclight you against the seeds anymore. So that's not as good against you, but still. The Time Snaps, I bet he's putting them in against everyone because it's a blue, and against anyone that is going to try to block him out. He's putting those in, I bet. Trying to hit those into some E-Strikes, those into some Phlox, into something else, into your Rosetta Thorn, into your Tremors. Just being able to string 20 damage attacks over and over again. Doesn't look like he's going to be able to have like 30 damage Riftbind turns, obviously. So it looks like he's going consistently wider with the Phlox and with the Time Snaps, trying to take advantage of some of that stuff. He's got extra Vexing Malice. So to push through in the late game, 6 Vexing Malice is pretty strong here. So this is cool. The blue Tremors as well. I mean, a 1 for 4 blue, you can't complain about that. That's nothing to shake a stick at. So, dude, okay. So that looks like what he's doing here. Obviously, it's pretty strong. It got him all the way up to 2nd place. He did lose against the Bravo deck. So clearly it's not 100% against some of these control decks. But still, it obviously had some power getting him to top 2. So let's see the chat real quick here. All right. Running back to the Briar thing. Why not running Rifting in Briar then? If you had red Rifting, it pops a Phantasm as well. Okay, so Rifting is your... Wait, what are they talking about? So Rifting is the one that puts the non-attack action back on top of your deck. Oh, and you're saying that it... Okay, So it can be used for the non-attack action back on top of your deck, but it's also a just a card for against Prism. Yeah. Filthy Chain, baby. Yeah, Rosetta Thorn, that 2 Arcane on there, that coming in all the time, combined with Vexing Malices, it seems like he's got enough to push through against the control decks. Going wide and just 2 Arcane damage, that seems like it. So maybe it's people are going to want to play 2 Arcane against him. If they're blocking it just takes away some of your armor, which can be rough. Yeah, both ran Gorganian Tome, so we're seeing that a lot in these decks. Pretty nice here. It's just great for things that trigger off non-attack actions. Just a good card. Especially if you don't want to block, or you're really good at blocking with your other cards. The G-Tome. Okay, so let's talk about Tremor, and then we'll talk about Shackling. So Tremor, a 1 for 6 is pretty good. I mean, that's on Hallowed Rites. 1 for 6 coming in. This is going to be one of your biggest attacks here. You're trying to go wide, so you have Go Again through your Shackles, through Art of War, through Flock of the Featherwalkers, through Time Snap Potion, through Shadow Puppetry, and through Mauvern Skies here. So getting a Tremor into a Rosetta Thorn into another 1-cost attack is a pretty good turn. So I definitely think it's good. As a blue, I guess just for a 1 for 4 blue, it's just kind of a vanilla attack that can push through damage. And I see it as a solution to, you can't block everything. So it's just another way to leak through damage. Yeah. I wonder how much he shackles. Me too. If he's shackling against Bravo every turn, or if he's like trying to get down his flocks and his potions and stuff like that. I think he probably is on most turns, unless he can't. Maybe if he can't push through damage, if he looks at his hand, he knows he really can't. He won't. And he'll try to just set up for the next turn, dropping a good arsenal target, maybe laying a Go Again type thing on the field. I'm thinking he shackles every turn that he knows he can push through. That's what I'm starting with. We'll see. We'll find out. Yeah, dude, without Rosetta being elemental, it's just a great card for him. A 1 for 4 weapon. I mean, a 1 for 4 weapon is just so good. You have a 3 for 4 weapon is another option for him. So good. Yeah, if you could lock it to Briar, that seems like that makes sense. But hey, chain, baby. Oh, yeah, Rifting's your next non-attack as an instant. Duh. Okay. Yeah, okay, so let's go back to this Rifting talk. There was actually once where I was thinking of playing Rifting in Chain against like aggro decks to force them to block against you, because it's another way to get Go Again. Rifting actually would be kind of cool here as a Prism popper and against those aggro decks. I don't know if it's good enough here or another, but just as another way to get Go Again, it's kind of like a 6 damage hit Go Again. And then a 6 damage attack, great for popping Prism. You can side it in there. If you're not using it that turn for that, you can just use it to attack with and try to catch her on the end of a turn when she can't block anymore. I was thinking of Cadaver's Contraband. Exactly. Cadaver's Contraband, no. Rifting definitely has a nice hit effect on it. Way stronger, especially when you have like an Art of War or something you can follow it up with. Hey, good call. Yeah, we talked about the Katsu deck list again. We will have this up for replay. I can touch a couple thoughts on it again at the end here. Let me just look through the rest of these comments first, see if there's anything else about Chain. Oath of the Arknight. Yeah, Oath of the Arknight coming in 2 cost can get the Arcane. Oath of the Arknight, are you talking for Chain or for Briar? Literally just playing non-attack actions that do nothing to attack for 4. LOL. Yeah, pretty much. Dude, you could play the time snap as an instant with the rifting. Dash is really good. Dash got top 8 at the Pro Quest the weekend prior. Dash has always been in a strong spot in this game. Yeah, I don't know. There's some things that work against her, where there's some more counters now, but she's still one of the top decks. She can destroy certain control decks, and she's versatile enough to where you can play her aggro, mid-range, or control. So I think she's still a great deck for sure. Yeah, Oath of the Arknight on Rosetta actually is pretty nice. It turns that thing into like 8 damage attack. It's coming in for 3 arcane and 5 normal. That's pretty cool. And then also with this much arcane, you could be running the legendary boots. I'm blanking on them now. The new ones. Because you are gonna push through the arcane damage if you have enough pitch on your turns. Being able to keep those out for a couple turns in a row could be nasty. The Briar decks are just playing Ninth Blade for against Prism as a block or a yellow pitch. It's just purely a side deck card against Prism. Because you could run a 6, but when you have things in your deck like your Herald of Triumph to make 6s become 5s, you want to play higher than those, and Ninth Blade of the Blood Oath is your only one that would be 7 or higher that is a yellow pitch. So it gives you a little more versatility there. It also is good if you're playing Blinding Beam or something, which won the last Pro Quest, so Blinding Beam could be in people's minds too. For sure. Spellbound Creepers, thank you. Shout out chat, shout out go again. Awesome. So this is cool, dude. I do like seeing Chain here. We talked about the Bravo deck at the very beginning here. I'll look at that one real quick again, and then I'll offer a few comments on the Katsu deck, what I thought about that for the person who was asking. So let's look at this deck again. It seemed pretty standard. It seemed just like the Kale McCreath deck. Almost, yeah, very similar to that. He is running 2 Command and Conquer in here, which is interesting. Doesn't feel like he needs that third. But yeah, he's going for some Mage Master boots here, which is pretty cool. Lead the Charge can work with Mage Master boots. Also, obviously, against Prism is where you're really going to get your value out of those. So first things first is against Prism matchups, Bravo struggles hard. So looking at that, he's running 2 Lead the Charge into Prism. He's running, what's it called? He's running he's running Zealous Beltings into Prism. And he's running Rouse the Ancients. So he has some go wide stuff here for sure. And then he's got, for his attacks, his real big attacks are going to be Crippling Crush. They're going to be a single mail. So Spinal Crush, Crippling Crush, and he's got 2 Righteous Cleansing. He's just kind of leaning on those. Just a 1 mangle, some different things, but basically leaning on those attacks. He's got a lot of blue attacks in his deck for Staunch Response. Sorry, for Rouse the Ancients. Staunch Response and Unmovable as defense reactions in blue are always pretty good for this dude. Can get a lot of value out of there. All right. Bum. Yeah, pretty standard. Bravo is just good. It can kind of play against anyone and does great, except for Prism. So maybe he dodged Prisms, because this deck, it can go wide enough to beat a Prism, but I feel like Prism would have to draw pretty bad. I was playing against a Bravo last week in Armory that had red and yellow Zealous Belting. It had Rouse the Ancients. It had E-Strikes in it also, all to get around some of these auras. And it's just funny to see. He said his entire side deck was just suited to beat Prism. But even then, it still struggles. It's just not consistent enough at going wide. Okay, yeah, let's check out the chat here. So more about the Spellbound Creepers, huh? You go... Yeah, dude, Rosetta Thorn, if they don't block it, Spellbound Creepers into Meet and Greet, into Consuming Volition. So yeah, we didn't see Consuming Volition or Meet and Greet in his deck. That would be one that I would love to see played. I bet a lot of people are, so people are probably fooling around with it, but Alex didn't go for it, so his deck would be more consistent against people that are blocking Arcane. But if people aren't blocking Arcane, having those cards in there is just absolutely nuts, because you have Rosetta Thorn that can push through 2, so it gets over the 1 Arcane. You have Vexing Malice as a 6 of. Like, if people aren't running 2 Arcane against you, your Consuming Volitions, your Meet and Greets just start to get nasty. All right. So I did say I wanted to touch real quick on the Katsu deck for leaks over here. So the Katsu deck was running, it wasn't running any like yellow leg taps or anything. This is Luke's deck. So congrats to Luke getting there. We do know Luke locally, so awesome. I'm really glad he got that. I didn't even realize it was him. I didn't look at the last name or anything until someone mentioned it in the chat. Dude, this is sick. Until Kyle mentioned it. So he is running the Crane Dance. He's got Soulbead Crane Dance in here, which is pretty cool to see. He's got them as 3 of, so he's definitely leaning into that. He says, you know what, screw yellow leg taps and stuff like that. But he does have 3 Hurricane Technique, which I thought were interesting. A couple of other interesting things. Exude Confidence, really good against defense reactions, against Prism and stuff like that. And the other thing, no Tunic, just Heart and Cross Strap every single matchup. And that's probably because dude does not have many blues here. Because if you look at it, I think there's 15 here. Wait, 2, 5, 8, 10, 12, 15. Yeah, but Snags, he's not running Snags in every matchup. He's siding those out. He's got Lunging Press in here as a blue, which is cool as well, just as another way to push through, because now he's got Razor Reflex, Ancestral Empowerment, Lunging Press, and Art of War. It's another thing that you always got to worry about, and people oftentimes block the exact amount to block out an attack reaction. Lunging Press is just another way to get over the top. So he has some interesting choices in this deck. It's pretty cool to see. 2 snatches. Yeah, that's what I got to say about it. Pretty cool stuff in here to see. 1 Art of War, man. I'm a 3 Art of War guy. I think that's like a hot debate, is how many Art of Wars do you run in Katsu? I'm a 3 Art of War guy, but hey, I get it. All right. Dude, Plunder Run on E-Strike into Lunging Press. Yeah, that'll get you. People, you're not going to expect that, especially since you can't Ancestral Empowerment it. Red Mauvrin, Skies, Vexing Malice, Attack, React, Razor, Meet and Greet. Yeah, so if you're running like the Meet and Greets and the what is it? Meet and Greet, E-Strike, and Consuming Volition. It's a lot of good targets for red Razor Reflex to hit. Really great stuff there. Yeah. Dude, so some of these decks, I love seeing this. We got 5 different heroes in this. And even then, we saw the Prisms were a little bit different, but weren't like huge. Did I not look at the second Prism? Someone tell me if I didn't look at the other Prism. I was gonna say they were different, but I don't know if I looked at this one. Maybe I did. No, dude, I don't think I did because the other one wasn't running library. 3 glisten. He's also short on reds. Also short on reds. Got the arc light still. He's running 2. Okay, yeah. He's got 6 glistens. Other deck didn't run any glistens. Okay, so this dude is hard on for the. He is he's going hard on the glistens. This is a kid-friendly channel. Yeah, they're both more aura focused. They're not like hybrid kind of decks like the last deck that won Dallas was. Definitely hybrids. And looking at it, yeah, he's embracing the glistens in here, which is pretty sweet. I love that card. You can be super good with Arclight Sentinel, I'll tell you that much. He's got 2 pummels here. Okay, so the Prisms, yeah, they had some different choices, but they were both aura focused. The Lexi was interesting to see because it was a Death Dealer Lexi. The 2 Briars were completely different. And then we had Bravo. So looking at it, man, this meta is still wide open. Like, this is just cool. It looks like we got some more chat stuff. My issue with Katsu is they're almost the same deck all the time. Was my main, and variations are not high enough. Almost everyone knows how to play around you. That's definitely true. There's not that many variations. It looked like he had some more variation because he was playing the Soul Bead. He was really leaning into it with 3 Crane Dance and stuff like that. But even then, that's one difference. When you see Soul Bead, you know exactly what's coming if they're trying to combo it. But besides that, it's the same exact attack reactions. Everyone's running the Lord of Wind combo. Everyone's running the leg tap combo. So that is true. It's just people have kind of figured the deck out. And it's like maybe 10 cards will be different deck to deck. You're not going to see this like Briar swing where their decks are so different. Crazy. Okay, so Jordan played against the Glistens. Definitely had some trouble against them. Dude, they are kind of insane. That's pretty cool. So you saw Matthew's deck there. All right, 3 Arclight Sentinel. Yeah, Arclight Sentinel, the only problem is if you don't draw 2 blues with it. But you could just save it in your arsenal, obviously. But its highs are very high. Definitely can be incredible. Razor and Rune Blades is slept on because no one expects it. Yeah. I mean, there was someone who placed top 10 at the Calling Vegas that was playing Razors in their deck. Let's see. Very diverse, healthy meta. I totally agree. We, unfortunately, are not going to be heading to Orlando. So that would be cool. I wish we would have been able to match up. Maybe I would have been playing some Prism. Yeah, Josh was playing Katsu. I think his experience, he started out well, going 3-0, but then he got paired up into the higher rounds where everyone knows what the deck is. And at that point, it kind of becomes harder because people can play around it. Still a really strong deck. If you don't know how to play against it, it's kind of like playing against Dorinthia. You kind of get screwed over because you don't know what to block and what not to block. But playing, maybe it's just not a good deck against experienced people. Luke would say that's not true. Getting top 8. Maybe it's just because he was playing some of those other cards people didn't expect. Interesting. Okay, he was 5-1. Wait. I actually don't even know. I didn't get to talk to Josh much. He was so busy the entire weekend. I got like a quick glimpse. I know he started out 3-0, so he was 5-1. Josh, I don't even know. Did you drop after 5-1? I don't even know, man. Run Pummel Katsu and win because everyone... yes, Pummel Katsu. We're going hard into the surging strike and head jab line, embracing those pummels. It's funny. Oh, man, we got some more people in here that played each other. Jordan and Michael. Bum, bum, bum. Okay, so we have a how to beat Dorinthia deck, or how to beat Dorinthia video. If you look back, it was like late spring, maybe early summer. I'd have to say May if I had to guess. Yeah, I think actually maybe early May. If you look back, we have a how to beat Dorinthia video. I thought we had a how to beat Katsu video. We apparently don't, because someone just asked this in our Discord and I referred them to check out our how to beat Katsu video. It was a how to beat Ira video. So we have a how to beat Ninja. We don't have a how to beat Katsu. So that is something that we definitely need to talk about because that just came up. So definitely on our list here. It's a hard one. I feel like the general tips are harder than against how to beat Dorinthia because it's so specific to what they have left in their deck, what they have left in their discard pile. The number one thing is don't ever let them get a mass trigger, like ever. So always making sure you block their second attack or their third attack on their turn. So they're not like threatening it. If they have an attack reaction, you got to make sure that you have your defense reaction saved for that, because they're going to use their attack reaction on their hit to search trigger, their hit to mass trigger, or their hit to draw trigger from Whelming Gust Wave. So many things to think about when you're playing him. I think we're going to have to really get our thoughts together to make it concise, so I'm not just blabbering out random things to you. But if I had to give 3 general tips, it would be block their combo starters. So specifically Surging Strike, and secondarily their leg taps. Make sure to block so they don't get a mass trigger. Don't let them get 3 attacks in a row on you. So that's tip number 2. And tip number 3 is watch out for attack reactions on their Whelming Gust Wave and Magenshi Release. So if you can do those three things, you're definitely at a point where you can beat Katsu. For sure. Okay? Okay. Bum, bum, bum. Recap vid tomorrow. Okay, all right. Josh is going to do a calling recap video tomorrow, and he's going to explain it a little bit. Awesome. Okay, good. You found the Dorinthia video. Sweet. All right, yeah, check that out for sure. That'll give a lot of tips. We actually had some people come up to us at the Calling Vegas and said that like helped them out a ton, and definitely got them like change their game, which was amazing to hear. Because she's definitely one that it's hard to play if you don't know what you're doing and you walk into it, you're like, what the heck just happened? Yeah, so you can armor block second Kodachi. The only problem is you really want your armor around late game. You don't want to use it too early. All right, you just got to be careful with that. And because if it's gone like second turn in the game, you're like, crap. You just want to make sure that you use your armor maybe when you're going to go off on your turn and force them to block you out, and you completely change momentum. For sure. Okay. So I'm going to take like another couple minutes in the chat hanging out. And then I think we'll call it for the day. I just want to say that the top 8 decks really excite me. And I love the way that this game is headed with the meta right now. We'll see if Chain sneaks back in there. We'll see if it becomes a Chain or nothing kind of meta. And dude, this is pretty sick. Let me see. Josh just messaged me. I'm looking at Josh's thing here. He sent me a picture of him in the gym playing, and he said swap to this so you can see my beautiful face. Thank you, Josh. Okay, guys. Yeah, we'll see if Chain kind of emerges at nationals. You know, what are people holding back right now? People that haven't been to the callings that are going to be at nationals, or how are they going to react to the callings? Things like that. That's all stuff that I'm really looking forward to. I cannot wait to see what these decks look like at nationals. That's going to be insane to see that stream. So, do you guys think more people are going to be running Chain? It's kind of been on the down low. People just dismissed him, but he still has the same ability, can still attack the same. The question is, does he have enough to get over to the top against Bravo? Bum, 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 bum. Dude, it's fun to see people talking in the chat about their experiences at the calling, playing each other and things like that. I wish I could have been there this weekend, guys. I can't wait to see Josh's recap video either. And I'll just give a quick shout out while we have a second here to our Thursday live stream on Twitch. So we're going to be doing gameplay every Thursday night from 6 to 9 p.m. Central Time. So be sure to tune in then, check it out. Last week we had a really great stream. Josh was on his way to Cincinnati, so I played against Chris Goller. Thanks for helping out here. We played 5 games on stream, Classic Constructed. Those were really fun stuff, and the chat was definitely involved with that, so we'd love to see that. And yeah, we're just looking to do that consistently, get some more consistent gameplay out there, and just boom, 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 rattling the games off. Awesome, Wade. Cool. Glad to hear you had a great time there. It looked great. Lots of people there. Love to see it. Does anyone have any questions for me or any comments maybe about the deck, about the meta, or anything else before we wrap up? Oh, no. Oh, no. Turn 0 Genesis. Dude, sometimes you can just stack up the auras, and it's just like... Aura, oh, and all of them have Ode to Wrath. And yeah, you're coming in for like 30 damage a turn. Nasty. Nasty. I'll give it 15 more seconds for anything else to pop up, and then we're signing out, and we're getting on our day. I finished my coffee. I got a drop left. Great. Well, hey, thank you to everyone tuning in. Let me know. I mean, if this is a format that you like, just to have this sort of chat in the morning, maybe going over some deck lists, some other news, something like that. Let us know if it's something you want us to continue with, this Coffee with Fab. And if you're just tuning in as after the fact and just watching the video, I hope you had fun with that. Be sure to let us know in the comments anything you have to say about it. But I enjoyed this. I had a lot of fun. And I will answer this question. Is your Lexi deck being played on the Twitch from 4 days ago? The Lexi deck, Lightning Lexi, was played. Yeah. Chris was playing Lightning Lexi. He, maybe it wasn't the best showing for it, but also it was his first time playing Lexi. So we, yeah, I don't think he knew exactly how to side. I kind of handed him the deck, and he's like, I just want to go at it and just learn and figure this thing out. We had some close games, but we also had a Prism blowout. So game number 4, I had like 5 auras on the field at one point. It was really bad. So don't look at that one, but the rest of them, Lexi looks pretty powerful and stuff. Dude, Lexi is awesome. And if you want the current or the Lexi deck list from the calling was a completely different deck list from the Lexi deck that I played. The Lexi deck that we have our video on is similar to the top 8 deck list that was played in Dallas. So that one was a Lightning Voltaire build. where you can consistently go wide with that. You have 3 of a kinds and stuff. And the Lexi deck list that we looked at today was a Death Dealer build that is kind of like a combo deck that can just burst, go off sort of thing. So both versions I think are super powerful with her. She's definitely strong. Taking the beating for science. Awesome, guys. Well, hey, I had a great time on here. Thank you for being so interactive with the chat and making this fun and easy to do. So be sure to let us know anything else you want in the comments. And until next time, my name is John, and I'll see you around.